Greetings, I am Socrates, an ancient thinker hailing from Athens, born approximately in 470 BCE. Picture a city bustling with intellect and democracy, a perfect backdrop for the journey that unfolded in my life. My passion lies in philosophy, not the dusty, theoretical kind, but a lively pursuit of truth through questioning. I developed the Socratic method, a conversational technique to unravel assumptions and stimulate critical thinking. Imagine engaging in spirited dialogues under the Athenian sun, challenging beliefs to uncover deeper truths. Despite my significant influence, I chose not to pen down my thoughts. Instead, I relied on oral communication, fostering direct interaction and intellectual exchange. This choice paradoxically led to my historical existence being filtered through the writings of contemporaries like Plato and Xenophon. As I roamed the streets of Athens, engaging citizens in discourse, I gained both admirers and adversaries. The youth found inspiration in my teachings, yet some accused me of corrupting their minds and challenging traditional beliefs. In 399 BCE, I faced a formidable trial, accused of impiety and introducing new gods. The trial became a crucible of my convictions. Faced with the option to renounce my beliefs or face death, I chose the latter, consuming hemlock as a defiant affirmation of my commitment to truth and moral integrity. It was a dramatic end to a life dedicated to intellectual exploration. My legacy endures beyond my mortal existence. The Socratic method echoes through classrooms and philosophical discussions, an enduring testament to the power of inquiry. The irony lies in the fact that, although I left no written legacy, my thoughts live on through the words of those who documented our conversations. In essence, my life encapsulates a quest for wisdom, a commitment to questioning, and an unwavering stand for principles, a narrative that continues to captivate minds and spark intellectual curiosity throughout the ages. In the tapestry of my philosophical principles, woven amidst the vibrant streets of Athens, one finds the threads of inquiry, virtue, and the pursuit of knowledge. Let me elucidate these principles that have become the pillars of my philosophical legacy. 1. The Socratic method. Embark with me into the intellectual arena, where the Socratic method serves as the conductor, orchestrating the symphony of learning. Envision a space where queries aren't just inquiries, but the very pulse of comprehension. Join me in this dynamic voyage, where the mind isn't a passive observer but an active participant, engrossed in the ballet of critical thinking and self-discovery. As we plunge into the nuances of the Socratic method, visualize a classroom not as a lecture hall but as a crucible of dialogue. Picture minds entwining, a dynamic exchange where questions aren't just posed but act as the catalyst for collective exploration of ideas. The Socratic method isn't a static technique but a living, breathing process, an approach that transforms passive learners into active seekers of knowledge. Conclude our exploration of the Socratic method by imagining a tapestry woven with the threads of questioning, a fabric that doesn't merely cover the surface of knowledge, but delves deep into the profound depths of understanding. This isn't just a method, it's a journey, an ongoing conversation that transcends time, inviting us to persist in seeking, questioning, and discovering. 2. Ignorance and wisdom. Picture a realm where intelligence blooms from the soil of humility, where the acknowledgement of knowing nothing becomes the fertile ground for the growth of genuine wisdom. Step into the paradox where ignorance isn't a hindrance, but the very catalyst for an unending quest for profound insights. While navigating the realms of ignorance and wisdom, imagine the mind not as a vessel to be filled, but as a garden to be cultivated. Embrace the irony that in acknowledging our intellectual limitations, we sow the seeds of wisdom. The pursuit of understanding isn't a solitary climb, but a continuous exploration, a journey that unfolds with each question, each admission of not knowing. Conclude our journey through the realms of ignorance and wisdom by envisioning a horizon where the pursuit of understanding extends beyond the boundaries of certainty, where the acknowledgement of our intellectual limitations becomes the starting point for an ever-deepening reservoir of wisdom. 3. Virtue and the good life. In the philosophical landscape, let's not merely gaze at abstract ideals, but embark on a practical journey toward virtuous living. Envision a roadmap where courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance aren't distant ideals, but tangible guides shaping the very fabric of our existence. While exploring virtue and the good life, visualize not just principles but a way of being, a lifestyle where ethical virtues aren't mere concepts but lived experiences. Picture a society where individuals don't just discuss courage but embody it, where justice isn't an abstract notion but a practice embedded in the actions of its members. The pursuit of virtue isn't an isolated endeavor, but a collective commitment to creating a societal masterpiece of ethical excellence. Conclude our exploration of virtue and the good life by imagining a life not just lived, but lived well, a life where the pursuit of virtue isn't a distant goal, but an everyday practice. The journey toward the good life isn't a solitary pilgrimage. It's a collective endeavor, a societal tapestry woven with threads of ethical excellence. 4. Ethics over dogma. Join me in a philosophical rebellion against the dogmas that entrench society. Picture a landscape where ethics stands tall, a beacon guiding us through the murky waters of blind adherence. Envision a journey where the foundations of beliefs and actions aren't just questioned but reshaped by the relentless pursuit of ethical truth. While traversing the terrain of ethics over dogma, imagine not just a philosophical discourse, but a societal upheaval, a revolution where the very bedrock of traditions is challenged. See the clash of ideas not as a confrontation, but as the birth pangs of a new ethical landscape. The pursuit of truth becomes not just an intellectual exercise, but a transformative force that reshapes not only individual beliefs, but the collective conscience of society. Conclude our exploration of ethics over dogma by visualizing a society where the pursuit of truth becomes the catalyst for transformation, a society where the pillars of tradition aren't shattered, but reshaped into structures of ethical fortitude. This isn't just a philosophical stance, it's a call to revolutionize the very fabric of societal convictions. 5. Individual autonomy. Imagine a world where individual intellect and moral compass aren't just acknowledged but revered as the sovereign rulers of self-determination. Envision a journey through the labyrinth of choices, where personal responsibility and autonomy aren't just ideals, but the keystones to empowerment. While navigating the labyrinth of individual autonomy, see it not just as a philosophical concept, but as a lived reality. Picture individuals armed not just with the power of rational thought, but with the responsibility to shape their destinies. Imagine a society where autonomy isn't just an ideal, but a tangible force, where individuals, guided by their moral compass, actively contribute to the collective tapestry of societal progress. Conclude our exploration of individual autonomy by envisioning a society where autonomy isn't just a principle, but a lived reality, where individuals, armed with rational thought and moral judgment, navigate the complexities of existence with an empowered sense of agency. 6. The pursuit of virtue. Through dialogue, enter the realm where dialogue isn't a passive exchange of words, but a dynamic process of intellectual and moral exploration. Picture conversations that transcend the mundane, fostering a collective pursuit of virtue. Envision a society elevated not through grand proclamations, but through the transformative force of communal introspection. As we immerse ourselves in the pursuit of virtue through dialogue, see it not as a philosophical discourse, but as a societal dialogue, an ongoing conversation that shapes the very essence of communal values. Imagine citizens engaging not just in dialogue, but in a collective quest for ethical growth, where conversations become not just exchanges of ideas, but catalysts for a higher moral standard. Dialogue, in this realm, isn't just a means of communication, but a powerful force shaping the ethical landscape of society. Conclude our journey through the pursuit of virtue through dialogue by imagining a society where dialogue isn't just a means of communication, but a crucible of ethical growth. The echoes of our collective introspection reverberate not just through our conversations, but through the very fabric of our shared moral landscape. 7. The irony of ignorance. Uncover the layers of irony with me, where feigned ignorance becomes a rhetorical masterpiece, a tool to expose contradictions and stimulate deeper reflection. Picture a scenario where humility isn't just a virtue, but a dramatic performance inviting us into the theatre of critical examination. As we peel back the layers of the irony of ignorance, envision it not solely as a rhetorical device, but as a narrative intricately woven into the fabric of intellectual exploration. Picture the choreography of intellect and revelation, where feigned ignorance transforms into not just a tool, but a captivating performance, an artful dance that invites us not only into the theatre of critical examination, but onto the grand stage of intellectual exploration. Imagine this irony not as a static element, but as a dynamic force, sparking not just contemplation, but a profound unraveling of truths. It's a theatrical production, where the plot isn't scripted, but emerges organically from the interplay of questions and revelations. The irony of ignorance isn't a mere adornment, it's an essential element, inviting us to engage not only with the content of ideas, but with the very process of uncovering them. This is not merely irony, it's a captivating dance of intellect and revelation, an ongoing saga that beckons us to continually question, reflect, and unveil the complexity of truth. As we draw the curtain on the irony of ignorance, imagine it not as the end of a performance, but as an intermission, a brief pause before the next act of our perpetual quest for understanding. The narrative continues, inviting us to be active participants, ready for the unfolding drama of intellectual exploration. In the crucible of Athens, these principles were not mere abstractions, but guiding lights for those navigating the intricacies of existence. While my life was cut short, the enduring impact of these principles continues to ripple through the currents of philosophical thought, inspiring generations to question, seek wisdom, and live virtuously. What you've just heard is merely a fraction of the philosophical compass that guides my perspective. The unexplored realms of my principles await, and in the upcoming discourse, I promise to unravel the entirety of this intellectual tapestry. Your presence and curiosity fuel this ongoing conversation, and I implore you to remain connected. In the next part, we'll delve into the depths of wisdom, inviting you to partake in the boundless exploration of thought.